Howdy y'all, this is Gray Ghost 55 and I'm coming back with another video. I am excited because this is Hoop Coop 2. We get to learn what happened with the rest of the Hoop Coop build. Sadly, there's some hatchet in this. There's some bad news. From the constant rain, then I would, as soon as it stopped, I'd try to go out and work, and then it'd start raining again, then stop and start, stop, start, stop, start. I could get no opportunity to get my camera set up so I could show the last bit. It would pour and then just stop. And I didn't know when it was going to start or when it was going to stop again. So I literally worked in the rain. It was full on pouring before I could get this thing done. And I was working out in the middle of it. But the consolation to this Hoop Coop is that we're going to talk about it. I'm going to explain everything I did from past the point of the ending of part 1, so you guys have a clear understanding to what ended up happening with the coop. Now, you might be seeing it here behind me peeping. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Hoop Coop 2.0. I was laying the chicken wire across the body of the coop, and the best way to show this ending product, let's see, right here, you can see it. I laid the chicken wire over across the cattle panels and back down again. And the thing I did that I don't know how many other do, but I felt better doing it, was that when I rolled this wire down, you can actually see it peek out of the grass right there. I rolled it roughly a foot, get this camera right, a foot on the ground. The reason is because here in Eastern Kentucky, it might be different in other places. We have a lot of more bigger predators like raccoons, possums, that sort of thing. So putting the wire on the ground and laying it down and then tacking into the ground, when those critters come up here to try to burrow underneath and pop out to get the chickens or the eggs, they hit the wire and they can't dig through the wire. Don't feel good on them paws. So that is a good deterrent in mind if you guys build a hoop coop yourself, that I encourage you to do this. It's not much extra to do other than having just kind of trying to pre-plan the amount of wire that you need. I think I went through like 1/4 row and then another 2 rows of 1-inch chicken wire that was 50 foot long, and that's currently available at Lowe's, at least for here in Eastern Kentucky. Now, the second thing, the tarp. What did I do with that? I bought a 12 by 16 foot tarp. That's a 12 foot by 16 foot. Again, that was another lovely Tractor Supply purchase, and it has done me well. And I put the grommet side on the front so I could zip tie each grommet to the frame. Right there it is. And when I got it on the sides, I got a fender washer. I'll zoom right in there. Hello, beautiful. And I put a fender washer and a deck screw in each grommet, and I zipped it down. Therefore, finishing anchoring it to the frame of the chicken coop. And here you can see I made a boo-boo. I got a little zealous and popped my tarp, but it's okay. It didn't pop clean through. It ripped the side. And that is how the hoop coop got finished. And I will tell you this, the one thing that I'm still planning on doing as one last finishing piece for this coop, and I really just haven't had the time to completely research it, what I want to do is that I want to make a stake in the ground and then run a strap all the way across the body of the coop and on the other side. Therefore, completely anchoring this bad boy down to the ground. We get some high winds here, and don't get me wrong, this is a heavy coop. You think it ain't that heavy, but you would need at least, I'd say at least 4 good men to get this thing to move, and then you could like put it on a trailer and drive it somewhere else. The fact is though, is that where you do get some good windage out here in eastern Kentucky, for me at least, you know, that wind hits that just right, it's liable to pick that up. We've had a bad storm here too, and I was wondering, but so far they have not moved an inch. They didn't even try it. But needless to say, I'm going to still try to figure out a staking method to get them straps over this coop. And then I'll feel better at night. Again, guys, I'm sorry that I could not show a complete, like the way I wanted to. I envisioned this so much better. Doing a part 2. But guys, I hope you like the hoot coop. We ain't finished the video, so don't get your horses up. As far as the hoot coop though, for me, I feel happy with it. It was a very cheap coop to make. Now people might vary differently because prices are different in other states, and they might have a different method of doing things different with their build than I did. But for a hoop coop, the rough estimate, and I'd have to try to pull the receipts, but Lord, I don't know now, but I'm going to say this coop costed around $200 to $250 to produce. Everything from zip ties to the wood itself to the chicken wire. And this coop here was all new materials. There was very, very few used materials in this, and that could have cost, of course, drove the cost on up a little bit more. But I had hinges. I did have to get some more deck screws. I did have to get the all the lumber for this one. Right here you see I just managed to have like a couple spare pieces for this coop. This coop, number 1, was just essentially free because all I had to do was buy the tarp for it and maybe an extra screw. The rest of that wood was all that I had collected from projects I'd had, and it was just warped raw lumber. Some of it was processed, some of it not. So that's why this coop was essentially free. But for a hoop coop like this, for a 7-foot wide, 8-foot long coop, you're looking at about $200 to $250. At least if you're, like within my budget range. Like here in eastern Kentucky, that's how much it costed me here. Like the one thing I did supply was this little bit of hardware cloth on the front door. I had some spare, so I used it instead of buying it. Not to say you couldn't get some more chicken wire and just overlap that door like I did. But that is the hoop coop. I'm very happy with it. The build, of course, you have to try something new. It's going to be, you're kind of a little bit kiltering off because you're not sure exactly what unless you're an experienced builder. I'm enough to be dangerous. But the build overall was very easy. It does help if you have a 2-man crew. It helps out quite a bit. But it can be done with one person, as you saw in the video. But there is the hatchet version. I could not get this last bit of footage shot for this coop. but I wanted to make sure that I did wrap this video up and explain how this hoop coop was made. Now I'm going to give the honey, the good bits. um, you've seen a couple of them running around there in my video probably. But this little coop holds 6 chickens now. I got 6 more. And they're a little hodgepodge, a little variety mix. And that was another reason I could not get the last bit of the video shot, because these guys were in a brooder box and they were getting, I'll just be honest, they were getting fat. I'm fat, so I can talk. But they were outgrowing the brooder box, and I needed to get this coop done ASAP so I could get them in here and they can get adjusted. But I'm going to introduce you to all of them. There were 6 little birdies here, and that's right, I need help with names. I'm not a good namer. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to them. And here they are. That there is a Baney. Both of them are Banies, actually. And as far as I know, this is a she. But she is a silky little white puffball. And she has a nice temperament. She don't like being touched. But she's starting to warm up a little bit. She is a good little chickie. And then there is, I believe, our current rooster. Yep, that's right. He came out of a straight run, so I didn't have no idea if he was a rooster or a hen. But his comb and wattles have been really developing really fast. So I peg him to be a rooster. And we thought one name for him might be like Ebony, but you guys help me out on the names. And right here is another little Baney. She is the nicest out of this whole flock. Not to say the other ones aren't, but she lets me pet her. She don't freak out if you get near. I come out here every day, and they're all still just a tad skittish, but this one is cool as a cucumber. But we thought about maybe doing Ivory for that, but tell me what you guys think. Here is our, I believe she calls the shots right now. She is an Americana, and I have not sure a name for her, but she is supposedly going to lay blue eggs for us. I do not know, because I know the more I've read about them, the more crazy they're. There's a mix between like the Americana, which is a blue egg layer, and then there's an olive egger, and they lay olive covered eggs, green eggs. So I'm not sure at this point what she's going to lay, because the breed looks so similar amongst each other. And I know that's a gene in there that makes that blue egg. But she is very forward. I believe her to be a she. And she is the most bravest out of the lot. She will go where none has gone before. Here is a Lavender Orpington. Of course, the breed is supposed to be a very nice bird, very tame. A good egg layer. She's somewhat reserved. She likes to watch. She likes to watch what's going around. And they're all freaking out because I got the door shut. And this in here, whoa! My little rod fell and they all scattered. But right here, this one here is a barred rock. She is supposed to be, of course, another good egg layer. And the species, I reckon, is like considered endangered. I'm not sure if that's the correct level or not. But as far as this barred rock goes, she's been very nice. She is more of a go-getter. She's like a middle between this girl and this girl over here, the Americana. She likes to get out sometimes and be a little adventurous, but she's more laid back. But I need those names. Help me pick the names. The last video where I needed names with, I got some good comments, some good suggestions, and I really appreciate them. And we ended up going with a lot of those names. Now, I did forget to mention this one here. He is a Seabright. And I believe, I just feel it in my gut that he's a Seabright because of those feathers, how he carries them low, and then how that tail feather just got that big angle. And I believe that one there, we wanted to think about naming Ivory as a Seabright too, but just a lavender edition. But if you guys can name that, make them names for me happen, I'd be really appreciative. We really enjoyed seeing the suggestions everywhere. They came from YouTube, they came from my friends, and they were awesome. But they are good little chickens. They have never one of them has never showed any aggression. And I try to at least pet them every day, once a day. Make sure they know that they're loved, and I'm gonna take good care of them. Let's get that door open. They want inside. Love my genius door method. Works like a charm. What do you think, though, guys? Seem like a pretty good little home for them. I think they're going to be real splendid birds to take care of. I think they're growing up really strong, really healthy. And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure that they're happy. But for the last part of this video, here's the thing, is I got a comment on Hoop 1, the part 1, asking about the corners. And I'll try to put a screenshot of it so it'll show up. But to answer your question, I said, I really did miss that part. And I should have done better on doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some dummy boards, and I'm going to go to the process of how to explain that and show how actually I did those corners. Because you can see right down here how I got those corners butted in. But stay tuned and I'll show you how. Okay, everyone, I'm back. And here is how I got the corner done. Now, there is a tool out there called a pocket hole. And as you can see here, here's mine. It's a very simple one. But it's made by Craig. And I'm not endorsed by Craig. I don't have no sponsors of any kind. This was just, I found the tool fascinating and I wanted to try it. But the one that I got here came in a kit with a single pocket hole, one drill bit, and it had a Allen wrench, a special Allen wrench that Craig makes for these to help adjust the collar on this drill bit. You can see it there. There we go. You adjust the neck to how far you want to put that drill bit toward that collar. Because, like right here, see there's also another settings there that you can use. And what you do is when you put that drill in, and it goes right here, and you're drilling, it catches the side of the wood and burrows a hole. And I'm going to give an example of this before we're done. And that board, where it's got that hole in the side and an angle, you can go like this. For an example, right here, that hole is bored down into the side, and when you shoot that screw, it gets into the side of the wood. You're not having to try to put it in the end grain. Now, I'm no professional by any means, but what it is that when that screw goes down in here through the side, it's a lot better stronging grip. Now, if you put it in the end grain, where you're going with the grain down in there, it is a weaker connection. So that therefore it's going to be less likely to break. It's going to be more likely to split or come undone. And you don't want that when you're on a project. So when you put when you bore that hole in the side, it sends that screw at an angle and comes through the side wall of the board, therefore making a stronger connection. Now I'm going to show you guys with these pieces of this little scrap lumber here how this thing looks. Now they make better ones than just a single one I had. They actually had a double that I was really interested in. Sadly, the store did not have them in stock. Apparently everyone else liked them too. But I got the single. And I'll show you a little quick demonstration. As I said before, put the neck in after you figured out what sizes that you want to do. I had to play around with the sizes because, like I said, I'm not that experienced. So I grabbed some scrap, found what angles worked for me and there in the Coop project. Now you want a clamp for this, so kids, do not try this at home. I'm an idiot. So I'm going to do it the foolish way. Now see here, you put the drill. Slowly back it out. And repeat. You skip a spot where you think it's a good gap. And voila! You can see that right there. Got your two nice holes drilled in. And I'll give you a close-up. Right there. Now see how it made the actual, drilled the hole in the angle, and then it put like a little pilot hole right there? Like that's your corner right there. And you got that board sitting there ready to connect into the other one. You put your screw down there, and it zips into the side of that wood, therefore making a better connection. There it is. And that's how a pocket hole is made. Really handy tool. I recommend it. It helped me a lot with this build. It helped put the door together. It helped put the corners in place. And I hope that helped answer any questions that people was wondering, like, what how'd he do that? How'd he do that? But, guys, though, what do you think? Was the Hoop Goop build a pretty good build? Was it within reason? Do you think, as far as the price-wise, do you think it was worth this? I want to hear your opinions on the matter. And I need help with names. Then I need the help with the names because I'm not a good namer. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you like this kind of content, please give a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. But most importantly, know that all glory goes to God. And this is Gray Ghost 55. And I hope to see you soon in the next video.